Welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K23 Next Gen. In today's video, we are back with another offseason rebuild, and today we have the Miami Heat. So by now, we all kind of know what happened with the Miami Heat last playoff run. They won 44 games in the regular season, they snuck into the play-in tournament, and there were very big moments in the play-in tournament that everybody thought they were on their last breath, thought they were on the verge of elimination. No, this team ended up making the playoffs. They beat Milwaukee in the first round. That's an 8 versus a 1 seed. They beat New York in the second round, and then they beat the Celtics in the third in the Eastern Conference Finals. Getting back to the NBA Finals for the second time, I think in, 3 years? And yeah, man, this team is resilient. They rise to the level of occasion in the playoffs, and Jimmy Butler is goddamn good when he needs to be. But this is a team that pisses me off as a Celtics fan, but I respect the hell out of them for it. Obviously, here in the offseason right now, they've had some pretty key departures. We'll touch on that a little bit in the video, but they're also waiting on some potential Damian Lillard news. Who knows if that's going to happen at this point in time, but this is a team that on paper does not look too great. Let's be honest with each other. And before we do get into this one, as I mentioned in the last couple videos, we're getting pretty close to wrapping up kind of the second pass-through of these off-season rebuilds. So if you guys have anything you want to see, whether historic rebuilds, challenges, whatever it may be, let me know down below in the comments section, because we definitely have to find something to do, kill some time until 2K24. But this Heat team, man, they're annoying to play against in real life. I can promise you that. I do not like it when my Celtics match up with them, but again, nothing but respect. They're a tremendous organization, and I hope to bring them a championship today. Let's get into this one. I'm just going to say it right now, typically the way I like to do these off-season rebuilds is I like to kind of leave the team relatively similar to what I believe it'll look like at the start of year one in real life for them. I don't know if that's going to be one of those situations today. I think if I want to set myself up for some potential long-term success, I might have to make some major trades while we're still here in the offseason, as the Miami Heat might actually end up doing in real life. So let's just go over this roster real quick. It is a very, very interesting roster. Listed as the only point guard right now is Kyle Lowry. Now, there's some speculation or whatever, and I think there's a couple depth charts. Obviously, those don't mean much. That potentially, if they don't make the big trade for Damian Lillard, maybe Tyler Hero starts at the 1. Who knows if that ends up happening or not. But Kyle Lowry's getting a little bit old. Obviously, making a lot of money, and he's not a long-term answer, let's be honest with each other. Tyler Hero, good to have him back. Hopefully, we can go ahead and develop him as much as possible. If he does that and he plays well, I have no plans on moving him. Josh Richardson signed with this team, or I guess I can say re-signed. He was a Miami Heat at one point in time. I think it's technically a one-year deal with a player option for a second season, but he'll probably be a decent bench piece for 1 year. I don't really know. Jimmy Butler, the best player on this team, is 33 years old, but again, he's a guy that really steps up to the occasion when kind of need be, and he's one of the main reasons, and probably the biggest reason, let's be honest, that this team ended up making the finals. Duncan Robinson, I don't love the contract, but did actually kind of fill a role while Tyler Hero was out for them in the playoffs. You gotta love seeing stuff like that. It is really, really good to do. Jaime Jaquez Jr., I believe that's the pronunciation. He was their first-round pick this year. He's 22 years old at that 74 overall, which is already great. I mean, it's 74 overall. I don't love 22-year-old rookies, but again, in a 3-year rebuild, it's not going to be too big of a deal. Power forward spot, Caleb Martin will probably be getting a payday at some point in time. This is a man that played very, very well throughout the majority of the playoffs, and yeah, I don't know here in 2K if he's going to work out as a starter, but he could be a really good bench piece for us. Kevin Love's about 95 years old. Again, he's a good piece to have off the bench. Obviously, a good veteran presence in the locker room, but here in 2K, it's not really that important. Nikola Jovic is 20. Did not see a ton of playing time last year, especially in the playoffs. We're going to see if we can develop him to the point where he could be a good rotational piece. Haywood Highsmith, let's be honest, probably not playing, but he's a good energy guy. Bam Adebayo, in my opinion, is still one of the more underrated players in the league. He's incredible, tremendous defensive player, just so versatile. Can quite literally guard position 1 through 5. Just watch him. I promise you he can do it. Thomas Bryant, they brought in this offseason. Orlando Robinson here as well. So, obviously, some of the key departures for this team. I think it was technically a sign and trade with the Cleveland Cavaliers that they did with Max Strus. They lost Gabe Vincent. They lost Cody Zeller. Obviously, Udonis Haslem retired. These are just some depth pieces and some locker room guys that are obviously not great to lose on a team that was just in the finals. Now, obviously, these guys got paydays that Miami was not going to give them, and they do have their eyes set on Damian Lillard, but feels like we're in kind of a stalemate right now with all of that. So we're going to see. I would not be surprised one bit if Damian Lillard does end up a member of the Miami Heat. It just feels inevitable at this point, but we will see. But here in 2K's world, it's probably not very realistic to trade for him. It's basically actually impossible. So we are going to find some trades that help support this team the best. Obviously not a realistic rebuild. Let's find those moves. Okay, we just pulled off a trade with the Houston Rockets. By no means was it a great trade, but let me explain to you why I did it. I honestly didn't think it was going to go through. That's why I wasn't talking. But here it is. It was Kyle Lowry, Haywood Highsmith, a first-round pick in 2027, Kevin Love, and 2 future seconds for Fred VanVleet. Now, the Fred VanVleet contract is interesting. The man got a bag from Houston. I'm never going to be disappointed seeing a player get an absolute bag when maybe they don't deserve that much money, but I did understand why they did it. But we made this trade for a couple of reasons. One, Fred VanVleet is an upgrade at this point in time over Kyle Lowry. I don't really think that's much debate right there. Secondly, he is younger. And third, he also has some flexibility. He has more than 1 year, and he will be more valuable than Lowry will be next offseason. If we're being honest, losing the first-round pick is probably the biggest kind of thing that hurts us the most, if you will, in that trade. It does kind of suck, but Haywood Highsmith was not going to play, and Kevin Love probably wasn't either. I want to get Jovic minutes. So that feels like a pretty solid first move for me. I mean, again, Fred VanVleet at age 29 is on that 3-year deal, but I am excited to see what he can kind of bring to the table. And again, if we're not getting Damian Lillard, it's obviously you really can't here in 2K. I feel like it feels like a pretty good first move for me. So other than that, I'm pretty comfortable. I think Duncan Robinson could be a trade piece for me, but everywhere else, I am pretty comfortable with this team heading into year 1. So I'll probably be starting Martin. I don't think he's a long-term option, but here, year 1, he'll probably be my starting guy with Jovic coming off the bench. So potentially a new backup point guard as well. Jalen Noel, did he sign with the team? Oh, I don't know. I would also maybe take a flyer on Io, but I know he re-signed with the Bulls. I'm not 100% sure on Jalen Noel, but quite honestly, I don't really care right now. I'm going to go out and get Jalen Noel. He feels like a really good backup point guard option for me, maybe if he signs with me. That's awesome. And then I actually don't think, just because we're basically through the majority of the offseason, not a lot of teams have cap space, I probably won't be able to get a really okay offer of anything. Yeah, for Robinson. So I'll hold on to him for now. To be quite honest, he's not going to be playing. I'd rather play what I'm going to refer to as Triple J. Not exactly Triple J, but what I'm going to call him for now. But other than that, this is it for year 1. Again, it's not a great team on paper, but especially when the moment comes big, this team steps up. We'll see you guys at the start of year 1. It is now year 1 for us here in Miami. We did not make too many major moves this offseason. We obviously acquired Fred VanVleet. It feels like a win for me. I don't even want to know what Kyle Lowry's overall is right now, but he's in Houston, or well, I should say back in Houston. I'm pretty sure he started his career there. But I'm excited to have Fred VanVleet here, see how he fits with this group. It's going to be him, Tyler Hero in the backcourt. Really no surprise there. Obviously, Jimmy Butler at the 3, Caleb Martin at the 4. Bam Adebayo going to be our starting center. The bench is definitely something we're going to need some work on at some point. Now, we obviously have 2 really young, promising players, but other than that, maybe besides Jalen Noel, there's no long-term options. So he's going to be my 6th man, followed by Josh Richardson, Nikola Jovic, Jaime Jaquez Jr., and then Thomas Bryant. So 10-man rotation here for Eric Spoelstra, who I consider a top 2 to 3 head coach in all of basketball. So this is an interesting team. I do like the additions we've made and some of the changes, if you will. And I kind of expect this team to be maybe top 4, top 5 seed. We'll see. Obviously, the playoffs are where we step up. See you guys at the end of year 1. The first year for us here in Miami wraps up. We go 49-33. It's honestly not too bad. It's kind of on par where I kind of expected us to be. So we will see. Luka Doncic is your MVP. Victor Wembanyama, Rookie of the Year. CP3, 6th man. Miles Turner wins a DPOY. It's a solid defensive big. You just don't really see it too often here in 2K. Good for him. Walker Kessler, Most Improved. Nick Nurse is your Coach of the Year there in Philadelphia. So here is a full look at the standings. That 49 wins gives us a 4 seed. Absolutely awesome. We're going to be taking on the New York Knicks here in the first round. And yeah, I'm hoping for kind of the same result that I guess technically happened last year, beating the New York Knicks. Here's a look at the numbers on the year. Tyler Hero led us in scoring, followed by Jimmy Butler. I feel like his shot tendency is kind of weird in here. I'm not saying I expect him to be like 25 plus, but like around 23, 22, 21. Not saying 19.5 is bad by any means, but I don't know. Also, adding Fred VanVleet probably doesn't help that at all. So you get my point nonetheless. Here, kids actually played pretty well. Jovic, Jaquez, I mean, it's not terrible for the minutes they got. Rebounds was Bam, and then assists was Fred VanVleet. So as I mentioned, it's going to be us against New York here in round 1. Let's take a look at this Knicks starting 5. Brunson, Grimes, Barrett, Randall, Robinson. Added Miles Bridges off the bench. Okay, interesting move nonetheless. We actually go down to, oh my God, okay. Well, we did not step up to the moment here in the playoffs in 2K. I guess that doesn't quite translate to the realism aspect the 2K goes and they brag about every single time. It is going to be a Celtics and a Mavericks finals. Luka versus Tatum, two of the best young players in all of basketball. Dallas ends up winning, and Luka Doncic is your finals MVP. 7-game series. All right, so now that we have full control of an offseason, I'm feeling good. We're not going to have a ton of draft picks or anything like that, but I am happy that we were able to make some other moves, hopefully clear up some cap space, potentially another big trade. We will see. Oh, goody, I lost my Wi-Fi. It should be back in 2 seconds, but I will be right back. My Wi-Fi likes to go out at inconvenient times. All right, we're bringing Eric Spoelstra obviously back, or not back, but he's not going anywhere. He's going to be staying. He's one of the best coaches in the world, and he has great ratings, so very happy to have him here, obviously. Good veteran head coach experience. So let's take a look. We do not have our first this year, and we do not have a ton of future first-round picks. Obviously, we traded the 2027 first to Houston, and we're in an interesting spot because I can't even trade this first right here. So decisions are going to have to be made at some point in time. We're not going to draft anybody right now. That's kind of fine by me. So Martin declines, Richardson declines, Jovic obviously we're bringing back. And, Orlando Robinson, probably not. I don't even know who Drew Peterson is. And, okay, so, let's just look at free agency. What are the options right now? Caleb Martin, I'm definitely not going to let go for nothing. Again, I do think there's an upgrade out there, probably, but I can definitely not just let him walk. I wouldn't mind replacing Richardson as well. I think that definitely wouldn't be, the world's worst idea. So, potentially new backup shooting guard as well. We'll glance at who's here, who's available in free agency. See if there are any upgrades. Bogey's here. Kennard wouldn't be a bad option to bring in. I would definitely take a flyer. Good shooter to come off the bench for me. Yeah, let's bring in Luke Kennard. Let's welcome him to the team. Excited to have him. I think it is time for I don't know if it'll be a big trade, but definitely a trade. We're going to try to work something out here with Utah and acquire John Collins. Overall wise, he is an upgrade over Caleb Martin, and let's be honest, it's a move that is needed. I'm not saying Caleb Martin sucks. He obviously had a great playoff run, but he's not really going to, fit better than John Collins in this game. So I did not think they're going to take that straight up. If I'm willing to throw in anybody else, honestly, you could have Thomas Bryant. I think he's very replaceable behind a Bam Adebayo, who's just a tremendous number 2 for us. And we don't give up a single draft pick, which is absolutely huge. And we get an upgrade here with John Collins. So I'm very excited to have him here, hoping he fits this team quite well. And other than that, I don't think there's anything major. I will obviously now look for a new backup center. These are not great options, so maybe I should have waited on that one a little bit. But what I'll actually do is do some sort of, sign-in trade, if you will, with Josh Richardson, see if there's any center out there. Potentially get us see if we can trade Richardson for potentially a backup center, include a couple second-round picks. So it really doesn't matter who it is. It's probably not going to be anybody great anyways, but just preferably, Duron Sharp's my best option at this point, and he's probably the guy I'm going to be going ahead and taking. So, Duron Sharp, welcome to the team. I will see you guys at the start of year number 2. So we're making another trade with Utah, and it's kind of a crazy one, and it looks pretty crazy on paper, do not get me wrong, but I have an explanation for how this is going to work. We're sending Fred VanVleet. Peyton Pritchard is one of the guys the game just kind of auto-signs for you, and a future first and second-round pick to Utah for Lauri Markkanen. And Duncan Robinson, I guess, is coming back. Literally just cannot avoid the man. But Markkanen's going to start at the 3, and then watch how this is going to work. We're going to change some positions around. It's the only way to do it. Jimmy's going to go to the 2, no overall change. Hero's going to go to the 1, really no overall change. I don't know how this is going to work. It might go super well. It might go super bad. I genuinely do not know. But, we're going to take a risk because I do think Lauri Markkanen is going to be a better long-term option than Fred VanVleet's going to be. So I will see you guys with the rotation now. After 49 wins and an early exit last season in the playoffs, we went ahead and made a couple major changes to this team. We added Lauri Markkanen and John Collins to a starting lineup that has Tyler Hero, Jimmy Butler, and Bam Adebayo. Now, Hero's playing the 1, Butler's playing the 2, and I am a little bit nervous about how that's going to kind of work out together, but honestly, there's quite a bit of talent in this starting lineup right now. I also know Markkanen and Collins, both free agents after the season, so again, definitely something we're going to have to keep an eye on, but I like it. I think this team works well. Obviously, some of our younger guys off the bench developing quite nicely. Here's how it's going to be. It's Tyler Hero, Jimmy Butler, Lauri Markkanen, John Collins, Bam Adebayo. Bench unit's going to be Luke Kennard, Nikola Jovic, Jaime Jaquez Jr., Jalen Noel, and Duron Sharp. So, I don't know. I think this team has championship potential. I hope 2K agrees with me. See you guys at the end of year number 2. A much better second regular season for us. We go 64-18. I'm assuming that was the best record in the East. Hopefully the best record in all of basketball. LaMelo Ball is your MVP. Ron Holland, your Rookie of the Year in Chicago. Cole Anthony, 6th Man of the Year, is in Memphis now. Victor Wembanyama wins a DPOY. Azar Thompson, Most Improved. And Spo wins Coach of the Year. You honestly do love to see it. 64-18. It's a thing of beauty. It really is. Let's take a full look at the standings right now. We actually were only 4 games up on the Cavs, so potentially a big pain in the ass for us at some point in time, but we did have the best record in the NBA. Here's a look at the numbers. We obviously added some talent, so some numbers are going to go down. Heroes numbers actually only went up. Wow, that's pretty crazy to see. But honestly, everybody kind of did what I was hoping they would. I'm feeling good right now. I am. Bam led us in boards, and then assists was going to be Jimmy Butler. So here's it going to be. Who is it going to be? The 8-seeded Indiana Pacers. Tyrese Halliburton. They've added Jordan Poole, Ben Mathurin, Walker, Miles Turner. Added James Wiseman off the bench. All right, good team there in Indiana. I do think. Okay, really? What the fuck's happening right now? There's no way, right? I mean, where there's just, I mean, what the actual flying fuck? There's just no shot we should be losing to that team, right? Actually, I want to see who sucked. There's no excuse for that, like, at all. I mean, there's really not. Hero was good. Collins was good. I mean, Jimmy, we got to step it up here, dude, right? This is what you do. You rise to the occasion in the playoffs. Bam, you kind of sucked. I'm not going to lie. Marketing, where the fuck have you been at, dude? Oh, this is tough to see. I mean, Hero showed up, and he was really the only one I'm happy with, to be completely honest with you. That's not fun. That's definitely not a fun exit. And, yeah, there will be some decisions made this offseason. The Houston Rockets and Alperen Şengün go on to win it all. Is Kyle Lowry still there? No way, right? He has to be gone by this point. Yeah, he's way gone, but that would have been funny. All right, so it's time for the final offseason, and honestly, I'm a little bit perplexed, if you will, about what I should do with this team, because we have an incredible amount of talent and a pretty decent bench, but it just hasn't really stuck so far. And I'm not firing Spoelstra. I genuinely believe he's one of the best coaches in all of basketball, but I don't know, man. It's on top of the fact I think Jimmy's making like $60 million, right? How much is he? 54. And, yeah, I don't really know. So, no draft picks, right? I don't think we had any draft. I hope not. I kind of skipped over it. We did not. Team player options. So, Collins declines. Jovic and Hawkes are coming back. Shocking Robinson accepts. And, yeah, so at this point, Sharp's a free agent. I also saw that Markkanen didn't want to re-sign with us. That would kind of suck. But, yeah, no, he's not. I know I can get him back, but just kind of frustrating that gets put in the game. But I'll make sure I get Markkanen back. You just got to go do this and just type in Lowry. Okay, here we go, 2K. Okay, thank you very much. I mean, I can't. He didn't play tremendous by any means, but I can't just lose the man for nothing. I think that would just be completely idiotic, especially because we're over the cap. All right, so I do want to get Sharp back as well. I don't know exactly where else I can make some upgrades, but some definitely do need to be made. So how much does Sharp want? About $5 million. It's not too bad. We get him back, and I think there's probably a trade coming somewhere. I don't know exactly. I'm a little nervous about Jimmy's overall to start next year, but yeah, I mean, maybe I explore a Collins or a Markkanen trade. I mean, to be fair, I think they're both kind of 4s, and Markkanen's playing the 3. But I mean, he kind of does that well. But well, hang with me. We're doing this trade here with the Minnesota Timberwolves. I don't know if it's going to honestly work out or not. It's an interesting one, to say the least, having Karl-Anthony Towns come in here. But he actually has been playing pretty well for Minnesota. Obviously, his numbers will decrease here, but I think he's an upgrade over Collins, and other than that, I mean, sucks to give up Sharp, but we can't take the first-round pick, and obviously Robinson's not playing, so it is what it is at this point. We now need to find ourselves a new backup center, but I'm pretty comfortable with this team, honestly, at this point in time. I mean, these guys there are no good center options in this free agency class right now. I have not found one throughout this video. To be fair, I am spending all my money in other places, but it is what it is. All right, so we're going to do these 2 first-round picks. Hartenstein might be my best option, to be quite honest with you, and that's probably what I'm going to have to live with. Xavier Booker, probably not. All right, welcome, Hartenstein. So, yeah, I mean, Karl-Anthony Towns now going to be my starting power forward. Pretty decent upgrade over John Collins, in my opinion, and I'm excited to have him here. But, I mean, obviously, losing round 1 again with this much talent is just unacceptable. So, if this can't do it, I don't think anything can. But see you guys at the start of the 3rd and final season. After a great regular season and an extremely disappointing postseason, we go ahead and make another change, adding Karl-Anthony Towns to this team. And I don't know how it's going to work. I'm excited to see how he fits in, but I am nervous. Don't get me wrong, this is a good team, but Jimmy Butler's getting up there at age, and he's still the alpha on this team, let's be honest. So I'm nervous. I'm excited to see how this kind of works out, but I'm definitely stressing. It's going to be Tyler Hero, Jimmy Butler, Lowry Markkanen, Karl-Anthony Towns, Bam Adebayo. The bench unit. Jaime Jaquez Jr. is progressing quite well. He's up to an 80. He's going to be my 6th man. Nikola Jovic is doing the same thing, progressing quite well. He's my 7th man, followed by Jalen Noel, Isaiah Hartenstein, and then Luke Kennard. So I don't know. I like kind of the balance we have with this starting lineup and this bench unit. I think it fits decently well. I don't love the fit. I mean, these are three guys that are basically like 7 feet tall. It's kind of funny how that works out, but I don't know. I think we should do really well. Hopefully it kind of breaks 2K, this lineup. And now let's pray to God it works. See you guys at the end of year 3. Absolutely insane regular season. We tied the greatest season in NBA history. We went 73-9. That's all high and well. It does not matter if we do not perform in the postseason, and we actually haven't even been in the second round yet, so forgive me if I don't really give a shit about that record. Luka's your MVP, but Salah Bakayoko Rookie of the Year. Brandon Miller, 6th man in Charlotte. Surprised he's not starting. He typically develops very well in this game. Victor Wembanyama wins a Depoy. Anthony Black, Most Improved, and Eric Spoelstra, Coach of the Year. All good. All good. All good. Just gotta go out and do it in the postseason. Obviously, that's going to be the best record in the NBA. We're the only team at 60-plus wins. That's obviously good. Hopefully, this kind of works out well for us come playoff time. Here's a look at the numbers. Feel free to pause if you wish. In terms of rebounds, it was Bam Adebayo, and assists was Jimmy Butler. All right, who's going to be for us? The 8-seeded Wizards. There's just absolutely no way this team is even touching us. Okay, thank you. I saw us lose game 1, and I was about to punch a goddamn hole in my monitor. I was. Toronto here. Dennis Schroeder, DeJounte Murray, Grady Dick, Marvin Bagley, Jakob Poeltl. Got OG coming off the bench. Decent team, I guess. There's just no way they're better than us. I'm not standing for that. Thank you. That's a sweep. Cleveland's a big pain in the ass because Donovan Mitchell typically leaves. He obviously did not in this scenario. And, yeah, there's just an incredible amount of talent here. So it's crazy seeing Donovan Mitchell as, like, your 3rd highest overall. Like, 95, 96, 90. That's just kind of crazy to see. All right, so we win game 1, win game 2. Okay, thank you. Just easy. Where has that been last year? We could have won 2 in this video. I fully believe that. And hopefully we win 1. That's not saying we have won 1, but hopefully we do. It's the Oklahoma City Thunder here. SGA, Josh Giddey added Cooper Flagg. Did you see that tweet, by the way? That Cooper Flagg was cooking Bradley Beal, Jason Tatum's summer camp. That's like the funniest thing of all time. Also, future Boston Celtic Cooper Flagg, Maine resident. Miles Bridges and then Chet Holmgren. All right, so that's a really good team, and I'm hoping we can beat them. We won 1 with them right now. We go up 2-1. They go 2-2. Oh, my God. I'm officially cursed. I feel like this happens to me all the time when I do Heat rebuilds. I don't know. I don't know. It's not over by any means, but, okay, hold this lead. That's good. Okay, good. Back to Miami for a Game 7, and it's all or nothing. That's basically as simple as it gets at this point. If I have to hop in, I will. I'm not going to try to because I'll probably blow it. But, oh, my God. Holy shit. All right, I'll see you guys in there. Oh, my God. There's just over 2.5 minutes to go, and we have a 7-point lead. I am incredibly nervous. I'm not going to lie to you. I have blown bigger leads in less amount of times. I mean, I'm all over the place. Karl Anthony Towns on Jalen Williams. Tyler Hero on SGA. This is one of the downsides of having to play Tyler Hero at the point guard spot. Yeah, not my exact favorite thing to do. But Jimmy Butler, I wouldn't mind being our primary ball handler right now. You got, whatever the fuck his name is. I'm blanking on this dude's name right here. Inside the Towns. Beautiful. Why am I blanking on his name? Oh my God, I'm literally having the world's biggest brain fart right now. What is his fucking... I'm sorry. I'm like losing my shit right now. Why am I forgetting his fucking name? Josh, I don't know why I forgot that for so long. I'll call me a casual. All right, I actually have to play some... Okay, Shea is just unbelievable. Thank you, Jesus Christ. Okay, holy shit. Down 3-2. Can we potentially pull off the comeback here in Miami, one of the toughest arenas in basketball to play in, I feel like. Bam Adebayo going up to the... Let's fucking go. Makes it a 9-point lead, and we are feeling good. We're feeling good, but we're not losing our shit yet because we have to stay confident because there's absolutely no way that I can just kind of lollygag and just have nothing end up happening here. It's Bridges. I was like, who the hell is that? Dude, SGA is just getting to the rim way too easily against Tyler Hero. I want to set a game plan to literally put Jimmy Butler on him. I don't think that's an insane thing to do. I feel like it's probably the smart thing to do. Towns, we're going to go inside to Bam. I'm kind of going to mismatch here on Bridges. Really can't work with him. Bam, going to go right up and gets the easy layup. That's great. How do I... Nope, I want team adjustments. No, that's not what I'm looking for. I fucked it up. All right, that sucks. Yeah, I mean, SGA just going to bully, and that's a foul. All right, I want to find... I forget how to do it. How do you do this? Matchups. That's what it is. It's matchups. No, I want Jimmy... Son of a bitch. I'm losing my fucking mind right now. Matchups, Jimmy Butler on SGA. Okay, hopefully that worked. I probably did that wrong, but I'm hoping I did it right. Bridges hit the first. Hopefully he misses the second. That would be very nice of him to do. And he hits it. I'm just hoping I did the defensive adjustments right. It would obviously be great to have Jimmy Butler on SGA instead of Tyler Hero. Jimmy's getting the easiest path of all time to... That should be a flagrant, right? That seemed a bit excessive, I would say. Jimmy Butler just got laid out like Prime Ray Lewis was coming over the middle of the field. I mean, right? He didn't run a slant route. Why am I getting my head taken off? Good God, that would definitely cause a fight in a real basketball game. That's insane. That's a brick. It's my fault. It's not Jimmy's fault. All right. So it's going to be an 8-point game if I do hit this one. Hopefully I do. Okay, thank God. Hopefully my matchup adjustment kind of worked here, and it looks like it did. Yeah, I want SGA here getting guarded by Jimmy. Okay, he's actually cooking Jimmy too. The man is just too good, but he misses that one. That should be our ball. Thank you very much. All right, so it is just over a minute left. It's an 8-point game. If they're going to play the foul game, then obviously this one's basically over. If they're going to kind of commit to that, I mean, to be fair, it's basically over anyways, but let's just hope and pray I don't fuck this one up. So let's just get up court here. Tyler Hero, a little stop and go. Tyler Hero. It's too easy. I'll see you guys at the finals MVP. Oh my God, Dwayne Wade. That's awesome. That was stressful as hell, but we end up winning it all here in our final season, and thank God. I feel like I've struggled in the past with Miami Heat rebuilds. I'm very happy we got this one. Karl-Anthony Towns, finals MVP. I'm very happy I traded John Collins for him. We're happy to have you here, Kat. All right, so that was a fun team. That was a fun video. There's actually not 190 overall on this team anymore, but... still, just an incredible way to kind of cap this one off. And Heat fans, I know I didn't get you Damian Lillard, but I hope you're still happy with me. Got you a championship. So that was fun. What is that, the 4th championship in their franchise history? Because what is it, 2006, 2012, 2013, right? Unless my math's wrong. I don't know. It probably is. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this one. I'll try to keep the outro short, so just let me know anything you guys want to see down below in the comment section. And other than that, that pretty much wraps this one up. I had fun with this one, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. As always, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.